All right, in the past couple months, I think high ticket sales is probably one of the most glamorized things I've seen on social media as far as online business models. But the honest reality of it, as someone that's been in this industry, done the $30,000, $40,000 months, and just seen so many people come in and out of this industry in the past year and a half, I have a pretty good idea of what the actual truth of this industry is. And if you're on the fence about joining high ticket sales, you want to get into the industry, but you want truthful knowledge about it, unlike these gurus that are saying they're making $80,000 to $100,000 a month in pure profit in high ticket sales, I'm going to walk you guys through the unfortunate truth of the downsides of high ticket sales and just generally see if you're a good fit for this industry in the first place. So the first thing about high ticket sales that every person gets wrong is that they don't understand that this is literally a glorified job. You are basically working for influencers, selling products on behalf of them because they don't have time to do it. So you're basically just a delegation of an influencer or online business owner. You are essentially just doing the work that they don't want to do in exchange for a commission, but in reality, it's probably better paying and better than the job that you currently do right now. So if you're looking to quit your 9 to 5 because you're working too many hours, you just don't like how much you work, this probably isn't the industry for you. You're going to be working just as much, if not more. Yes, it is a little bit beneficial because it is remote. You can kind of choose your income because it's commission based. So those are the upsides of it. But going into it, you have to understand that you're going to be working as much, if not more than your 9 to 5, and it's going to be more pressured. And it could potentially be a lot more stressful. People just think that you're hopping on with leads that are literally ready to buy, which sometimes they are. If you're selling anyone a $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 package, there's a lot of stress that goes into that, right? So you have to be ready to get rejected. There's going to be some days where you make zero money. There's going to be some days where you make $5,000. It just depends. And you have to be ready for those ups and downs. It's not like a 9 to 5 where you just get a consistent paycheck every single day. So I think some people thrive in that environment where it's kind of risky. Not every single paycheck is guaranteed. Not every single paycheck is the same. But if you can really work on your skill set and become really, really good at closing, your income is literally uncapped. It is completely up to you. That's why my first month I made like $2,500. My third month I made a little over 10 grand. And 6 months into it, I was making over $30,000 a month. It's because I incrementally got better at the skill and actually understood what it was taking. And I understood what it took to be good in this industry. And during that time period, I saw a lot of my friends get into it and they completely quit after like the 4th, 5th month because it wasn't working out for them. You have to understand what type of personality type you have. If you're even mentally able to take that pressure and just understand that some days the leads aren't going to be as good, you're going to get rejected 50 times in a row. It's sales at the end of the day, right? It's all commission based. You don't get a base pay usually. So if you are not closing deals actively, it might be a little bit stressful for some personality types. So everyone obviously looks at this like the laptop lifestyle. You're going to be sitting by the pool, closing deals. That's what all these gurus promote. But at the end of the day, you are literally taking 30 to 45 minute stressful calls trying to convince people to pay you $5,000 to $10,000. So it's not like you're sitting by the pool, you're just chilling out, collecting payments all day. No, you actually have to handle their objections. You have to get on the phone with them. You have to come across presentable. You can't just be at the pool closing deals. You have to actually be in a quiet environment, actually look professional. It's not as easy as what people think. And you have to understand that going into it, or else there's no way you're going to find success. If you think you're going to make an easy 7 to 12K a month, that's just not the reality. Almost every single guru I've seen online makes it look so easy. Like, oh, this is how I make $30,000 a month as a closer. They're handling like a simple fake objection. Or this is how I make $100,000 a month as a closer. That's not the reality of it, right? You're making 5 to 15% commission. So to make $100,000 a month, you'd have to sell $1 million a month. That is so unbelievably rare. Majority of people are going to make like 3 to 12K a month. So I would say about 80% of people in this industry are making like 3 to 12K a month. And then like the top 10% is making more than that. Another massive secret that these people don't want to tell you is that the offer you sell for, so the job offer, is a lot more important than the skill set you have. And I know that's a crazy take. A lot of people disagree with that. From what I've seen training 350 plus students to get their first offer is that the students that always make the most money are the ones with the biggest offers, okay? And what I mean by that is the most popular influencers, right? But yeah, selling for people like this on the screen, you're gonna have way more success than selling for some influencer with like 1,000 followers, 2,000 followers. So with that being said, it's very, very important that you guys get on a really reputable offer. And that's the part that these people don't leave in, is how do you possibly network with these creators, these influencers and stuff like that? So there's really only a few ways to do that. Number one is you get super lucky. You send out like 50 DMs to these influencers and maybe they respond back. But in reality, that's probably not going to happen. So you either have to buy your way into a placement network, you have to buy your way into a community so that you actually get opportunities to network with these sort of people. That's how I've been able to get 350 plus students on massive opportunities, because we literally charge to place them on offers because we have such a big network of influencers that hire from us, over like 160 a month. So people have no problem paying a one-time fee to network their way to a good offer. So a lot of people think that, oh, this is super easy, I can just get into it for free, which you technically can, but it's just a lot harder to do that and network with these big influencers, because people think if you have the skill set of sales, you can just sell for any offer, but that's just not the case, right? Considering these influencers have such a big and cult-like audience, it's so much easier to sell to them than some random person. So becoming a sales rep for people like this this, that's what's going to unlock those $10, $20, $30,000 months, because there's enough lead flow for that to happen. So the truth is, most people end up quitting high ticket sales because they land an offer with a super shitty influencer. They make no money. They're only getting like 1 to 2 calls a day. They're super unqualified leads. And then they end up quitting because they're not making enough money, right? And that's super sad to see, because they could have just gotten on an offer with a really big influencer with the same exact skill set and been making double or triple what they're currently making on their shitty offer. So a lot of people can't handle the long term of it. So for me personally, if I first started in this industry and I was on an offer with a really bad influencer, I probably would have quit in the first 2-3 months too, because I wouldn't think it's real. So just make sure if you are first getting into the industry, do it the right way, actually network with the right people so that you start off really good, right? It's kind of like if you go to the gym for the first 2 to 3 months and you see absolutely no results, it's going to be pretty unmotivating to keep going for years and years and years, because you literally see no results in the first 2 to 3 months because you're doing everything wrong. It's like if you go to the gym for the first 2 to 3 months, but you don't ever fix your diet, you're obviously going to see no results. So it's going to be super unmotivating rather than just doing it right the first time, getting the right information. So the first 2 to 3 months, you actually see some results to know it's real. Another huge part that people misunderstand is sometimes you are going to make 15, 20K a month, and sometimes you literally are going to make like 5 to 10K a month. So the first like 2 to 3 months, there's kind of a cycle where it's like you'll make $500 a day, $200 a day, $800 a day. It's so up and down that some people literally just can't handle it. 7-8 months ago, there were days where I was making $800, $900 every single day for a week, and then one day I'd make like $100. And so the first time that happened, I kind of freaked out. I was like, oh, what if I make no more money? But you just have to understand that it goes in cycles, right? Sometimes algorithms get messed up. Sometimes the influencers get less views than usual, and that's fully okay. You just have to understand that this is the sales cycle, and knowing this is going to kind of keep you guys mentally stable to just keep closing deals and just keep trying to hit your KPIs every day. And then something which I think is the most important part of high ticket sales that no one talks about is you have to be really, really careful about what influencer you're selling for, because some of these influencers might literally just be selling straight scams, okay? I had an influencer, a pretty well-known dropshipping influencer, hit me up for sales reps. I have a massive network of sales reps. So he basically hit me up. He's like, can I get 2 setters and 2 closers? Okay. So I basically connected him with 2 setters, 2 closers. I didn't really vet his offer out too much, which is a mistake on my end. He had a pretty big personal brand, so I assumed that he did good work. It's definitely a mistake on my end, because I ended up calling my payment processor, because my sales rep started to have some complaints after like 2 to 3 months that they weren't getting paid out and stuff wasn't going as well as planned. So I ended up calling my payment processor and I asked a little bit more info on this guy that was selling a dropshipping course or mentorship. My payment processor basically said that he had so many chargebacks for his mentorship, which basically means that the students weren't happy that they get their money back. He literally got kicked off of almost every single payment processor in the US. So with that being said, as a high ticket sales rep, you have to make sure that you're actually working with a good reputable influencer, or you are literally contributing to a scam. So make sure that whatever influencer you sell for has good results, has prior student results, has been running their offer for a long time. They're in good standings. They don't get chargebacks and stuff like that. Super, super important you guys do that as well. So I just wanted to make this quick video because I've seen so much BS about high ticket sales going around as someone that's been in the industry, been a top 1% earner, and seen so many people go in and out. The good thing about it is that there is real upside. If you understand these truths about this industry, you're gonna be fine. You have to go into it with the right mindset. Once you accept these truths, the game gets super simple. If you just stop chasing shortcuts, actually focus on the skill set of sales, and actually focus on landing a reputable, good offer with a well-known influencer that has a cult-like audience, which there are hundreds of them, you're gonna build some mental toughness that majority of people in the world cannot develop, all right? If you have mental stability and you have consistent work ethic that you do every single day, you're gonna beat 99% of people. I wouldn't consider myself the sharpest, I wouldn't consider myself the most hardworking, but I've just been so consistent every single day with high ticket sales that has gotten me from literally working at a restaurant to making a shit ton of money in the past year. So I highly, highly recommend this industry to anyone that's actually mentally resilient. If you're super short-tempered, you're not very well-spoken, you're not willing to work hard, this is not for you. Just make sure that you're actually doing your research. But yeah, I couldn't recommend high ticket sales enough to the right person. So if you're watching this and you actually feel like this could be for you, you're willing to work your ass off for 2 to 3 months, it's the best industry in the entire world. If you guys want to do it the right way, learn the right scripts, get the right trainings, get access to hundreds of influencers that are actually reputable, click the link down below. We have our program paid in full with hundreds of student results. We've done this time and time again. Reason being is because we get compensated by the influencers for sourcing and finding good reps for them. So it's in our best interest to get you guys on offers. But yeah, other than that, hopefully you guys learned something from this video. All I post about is high ticket sales content on this YouTube. If you guys are interested in this industry, click the like button, click subscribe. I also have an entire 2-hour free course if you guys want to watch that video on how to get into this industry for beginners. So if you haven't seen that, it's the second link in bio. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.